someone.
This is Barron's. This is on Barron's. This is then yes, commenting on whether or not Disney, whether it's over for Disney and whether Disney is going to move past in terms of stock price and stock valuation. They're literally making they appear to be making, I have not watched the video. The article is making the argument that it may be back for Disney. So, all right, here we go.
It's got to be entertaining
Disney
as hell.
Stock has plummeted from recent highs, but the media giant looks poised to bounce back.
Can you hear it all right?
What went wrong for the company, and why should investors take another look? It's the cover story this week, and Barron's senior writer Nicholas Jasinski joins the panel. Nick, thanks for coming on the show. So you took a look at this iconic media company. What has gone so wrong in recent years?
Yeah, certainly, Jack, the stock performance has been less than enchanting for the past couple of years for Disney.
Oh, that's cute.
Beta alert.
Record revenue,
Beta as hell.
Record per capita spending. The issues are really on the media side of the business. There's the linear TV, which is it's still profitable, but it's a shrinking business as cord cutting proceeds. And then there's streaming, which is the fastest growing part of Disney's portfolio, but it's losing billions of dollars per year. So Disney certainly has issues, and a lot of them are self-inflicted.
Important point.
There's a lot of focus on Disney's battle with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, but Disney has enough problems right now that you really don't need to blame them on the go woke, go broke kind of idea. They just gotta right now. That's just a lot of unnecessary noise more than anything.
But it's
okay. So hold on. Let's pause that right there. Let's pause that right there. Time out. We'll resume this. Okay. What? So somebody comes out, and by the way, this is Fox. These are your conservatives, right? This is your conservatives saying, "Oh, well, this isn't about get woke, go broke."
Right.
They just said with a straight face that this is not. Now they may be correct. This is the one thing. It may be correct that not everything is DeSantis's fault directly. In fact, DeSantis doesn't have much to do with their business failures. Trying to blame everything on DeSantis is the wrong track. But it does have to do with Disney internally being woke for the past decade, I would say.
Yes, and I think it's funny that here's what I see so far. One is that the first guy already talked, beta analyst number one. Okay, so we're going to call him...
Beta analyst versus Chad Mexican.
Yeah, we're going to call him Billy the Beta. So Billy the Beta guy says, already talked about two negatives about streaming losses and all that. So there's nothing positive that just came out of the mouth of Billy the Beta. Then we turn to the other dude. We'll call it, I don't know what I don't have, but I don't know who did his hair. Someone whoever did his hair needs to get fired. But here's what I think funny. In order to articulate, it's so funny that in order to articulate the message that Disney is worth investing in, and you should maybe take a second look. What do, Andrew? Like I love how the white dudes are never important and never needed. But when it comes to making a pitch for money, let's trot out Billy the Beta.
Bring out Billy Beta, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
And Bartholomew here on the left. I'm going to call him Bartholomew. Okay, Bartholomew with his purple-ass lavender tie combo that he got over.
I don't know. I want to call him Steve the Simp, but,
Steve the Simp on the left, Billy the Beta on the right, and obviously Steve the Simp just went to Men's Warehouse and got his purple shirt tie combo. Let her rip.
Let's do it. That's great. That's great, guys. Let's go here.
And you've got the linear melting ice cube that you mentioned. You've got money-losing streaming. Where's the upside here?
As everyone has heard, Bob Iger is back as CEO. He's got this new mantra of focusing on cost cutting and the bottom line and restoring creativity to Disney's franchises.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there real quick. His lead-in, like you're supposed to start with your strongest point, is Bob Iger. That is what are we going on now? 2 years of Bob Iger? So is he trying to pretend that Bob Iger has not been running this company for the past? Are you serious? That is your main point here. Your leading point, the point you start with, your strongest point is Bob Iger?
Clipboard of justice.
That's your argument for the stock is Bob Iger. Are you serious?
Guess what? He's cutting costs. Like my boy Chapek was trying to do, but got busted for it, right?
Well, he's cutting costs because he has to acquire Hulu. So that's what they're like. This is why the mainstream media, even like guys, this is why you got to be careful. Even with like Fox, people are like, "Oh, it's conservative," and I'm like, they're retarded too, right? Like,
and second of all, Billy the Beta needs how to learn how to tie a tie, and he needs to stop buying his collared shirts at Billy the Beta needs to learn how to tighten up on that tie, and he needs to stop buying his shirts at Marshalls. All right.
All right, let's go here.
The company should return to earnings growth in the second half of this year. Streaming is on track to break even.
Based
next
on
year.
what?
And
Whoa!
you have an inexpensive stock. When you look at the PE multiple, price to earnings multiple versus its history versus the market versus
Sort of play a
peers.
little bit.
But what really looks cheap is when you do a valuation based on the sum of the parts.
And the theme parks alone.
Okay, let's
the entire market.
Let's stop there. Let's stop there before you get to anywhere else. Okay, what did you think about that? The PE ratio, the value of the PE ratio. Streaming is set to recover. Based on what?
He's looking at this. Where's the fucking Disney? I'm getting out. Now I'm hot. Now I'm getting hot. Mexican Ironman. You're going out for drinks, and I still got to do my Sunday day. And now I'm hot. I'm gonna go to the grocery store today. Go grocery shopping. I'm gonna go freaking crazy. All right. What dipshit Billy's little. First of all, and by the way, Billy, let me give you a hint here. Okay, Billy, just because you use the Mr. Spock raised eyebrow thing, that doesn't make you smarter, Billy. The look. No.
Yeah, that doesn't increase.
What he's saying is that because the stock was once at $180, $170, $189, and now that it's currently at $85, $86.
Right.
It's undervalued. I would argue it's overvalued. I would argue two things. One, it's overvalued. You're wrong, you moron, because when you take a company like Comcast, Billy the Beta, which has essentially the same footprint. The only thing that Comcast doesn't have that Disney does is the real estate, the vacation, the cruise ships, and the theme parks, which is the company that it started with. In terms of everything else, it's all in common. They've got theme parks. They've got theme parks. They've got movies. They've got movies. I'm sorry. They've got theme parks that are getting old and sucking. Universal has theme parks that are growing and are amazing.
And they're updating.
One has movies that lose money. The other one has movies that make some money. And Comcast has a fiber optic and cable delivery system, which Disney doesn't. And they both have streaming companies. Anyway, the second thing that dipshit Billy the Beta is wrong about has to do with the undervalued assets, the sum of the parts. Are you kidding me? What is Lucasfilm? You bought Fox for $72 billion, and it's sitting on a shelf collecting dust. It is collecting dust. And Comcast in the negotiations drove up the price. Bob, with all of his arrogant hubris, just like a chick at the mall that has to have a Gucci bag, Bob's like, no, I don't want the sale price. I want to pay full rack for the Gucci bag. Because Bob just wanted to make sure that he got it. He buys $72 billion, and it's sitting on the shelf, not doing crap. So that's undervalued asset. You think Pixar's a good asset? Totally undervalued. You bought Pixar, it's sitting on the dust. Let's talk about Lucasfilm. You know what's the most embarrassing thing? I don't hear anyone talk about Lucasfilm. I hear KK rumor this, KK rumor that, none of which I give a shit about or care about. But I'm going to tell you this. You know who just got a $4 billion valuation? Skydance.
Yeah.
Skydance got a $4 billion corporate valuation and a $1 billion line of credit in order to justify a 4-to-1 ratio. And Lucasfilm was bought for what, $4 billion back in the day?
Yes, $4 billion.
Lucasfilm ain't worth $500 million to $1 billion on a good day right now. So look, Billy the Beta. I don't know if Billy the Beta needs to go back and take pre-algebra again.
But
I don't know if his
the whole sum of their parts, because that's the argument they're making here, right? Sum of their parts, right? Pixar, Marvel,
garbage.
This is what they're saying, and I think they're valuing based on how much they bought them for, and that they haven't hurt those IPs. That those IPs would still be worth something to sell off at this point.
National Geographic just laid off all of its staff. Star Wars garbage. Marvel increasingly garbage. Pixar trash. Disney,
trash. Yep.
No one's watching trash.
Right. Not good. Some super chats here. Brandon says, I'll buy Andrew a beer if he can tell me the earnings yield without looking it up or phoning a friend. Okay. I don't know the earnings yield. I know it'd be like, I'd probably under 1%, but that's just my guess. Do you know, Mike?
No, I'd have to look it up.
You'll have to look it up. Yeah.
It's so low.
I know it'd be small. I think it's sub 1%, but I mean, I know that's like a wide guess. Incoherent Turd says these talking heads literally make up points in a green room 5 minutes before airing. They don't know shit. It's a game to them, like Debate Club. Yeah. And well, they come together like, okay, we're going to say this, and you're not actually going to challenge me on this. So that's the whole thing. There's nobody in this room to push them, right? They're just allowed to say shit that doesn't make sense. Like, oh yeah, we expect streaming to roar in terms of revenue. based on what? Hopes and dreams and fairy dust you're snorting through your bonus hole? Like, come on. Come on. Oh, God. Let's play this through. I want to get through this. This is great. We're only 2 minutes in.
Yeah, Andrew, by our math, some of the parts valuation comes up with $124 per share, which is almost 50% higher than the current stock price.
Okay, that would be an impressive.
Okay, hold on. Let me play that one more
Alone
time.
could be almost worth the entire
Hold on,
market.
let me
But
play.
what really looks cheap is when you do a valuation based on the sum of the parts.
So they're saying the theme parks are worth
And,
money.
the theme parks alone could be almost worth the entire market cap of the company.
Yeah, Andrew, by our math, some of the parts valuation comes up with $124 per share, which is almost 50% higher than the current stock price.
Okay, that would be an impressive jump. What kind of cap?
Okay, let me just talk about this for a second. I do not think that math is good because number one, they have not factored it and basically they say, oh, based on some evaluations. Have you guys factored in the fact that they can just yank Shanghai at any point, or that Florida, they're going to have to pay billions of dollars over the next decade in terms of new taxes and regulatory costs that's going to eat into their profit margin? Like, are you factoring any of that in, or they're actually going to have to pay real fees, real money to the new district? Because they're actually going to hold them accountable for keeping things up to standard, for enforcement, for doing things right within the district. Yeah, that's something that's going to actually hit them big time in the long run, particularly those fees. So I don't think they're doing the math right on that one at all in terms of the price valuation.
Here's what's also silly is that valuation of assets doesn't mean jack crap
Shit.
when it comes to stock price, because you buy a stock for one of two reasons. You either want that stock to go up and you want to cash it out, or you want to get a dividend. And historically, Disney has been the kind of company that for multiple decades just issued a dividend. It would never be big, but it would be consistent, and it was like clockwork. It would click, 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 click. And there's sometimes you buy a stock because it's a fast riser and you want to get in on the action as it rises over a short period of time.
Right.
That's not the case with this. And unless this is a company that hasn't declared dividends in forever. And Bob did suggest when the Nielsen-Peltz conflict arose that by the end of the year, obviously not the fiscal year, I don't think, but by the end of the calendar year or fiscal year, we'll see what he does, that there would be some kind of dividend announced. Now, let's see if the dividend's announced, and then let's see if the dividend's actually paid, because a lot of times these companies will announce a dividend, but they won't pay it out.
Yep. Yeah. And by the way, guys, people jumping in here, yes, this is indeed a live show. So everybody is like, is this recorded? No, this is live. Me with Mexican Ironman, we're doing it live. We're ripping into the Disney analysts. It is Billy the Beta and Steve the Disney Sim.
Here's our I'm sure.
Sorry, diversity hire.
Yeah, I'm diversity hire. I'm sure. I'm all that was available Sunday morning at 8 a.m. West or East Coast.
Oh no, I'm talking about her right here. You know? They gotta have their women on there to prove that women know math too. So.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Catalyst do you see getting the stock there?
There are a few. The one that I'm most excited about is the new Marvels movie coming out later this year. Maybe we should all go together, do a little field trip. But
he literally, sorry, I have to pause this. He thinks the Marvels movie is going to be what turns us around. Mexican Airman, last time I checked, I think IMAX just said they're not even going to give it screens because Dune is coming out at the same time. They're just going to leave Dune, which is going to be printing money left and right in the theaters. That the Marvels is going to be what turns this around. This is what this guy with a straight face just said that to us. My question is not, is it going to lose money? It is, how much money is that movie going to lose? Right? We need value on for that one. Wow. Holy crap.
Let's hey guys, Disney's going to do better because of the Marvels. Come on, financial analysts. Let's go. Road trip. Come on, Billy.
Horrible.
Return to earnings growth. Right now, analysts are penciling in earnings growth year over year in the September quarter, which would follow 4 quarters of negative year over year numbers. So that's going to be a good sign of the turnaround starting to get underway.
So your analysts are going out on a limb here and saying after four quarters of losing, they're finally going to gain. Oh, that sounds like a real winner right there. Oh, come on.
Why are the
Investors
older
summit
white
in
dudes
September.
listening to
That'll be a
Billy?
chance for management to give long-term targets for the streaming business. What do margins look like after break even? And they've talked about bringing back the dividend by the end of this year, which should broaden the appeal to more investors. And you just got some good news coming up and a starting point of an inexpensive stock.
And we just saw that.
So do you, hold
Samuel
on, do you
Jackson,
believe
and
that,
what else do you need?
Mexican Ironman, do you believe there's going to be a dividend by the end of the year?
No, and I'm just wondering. Let's look at everybody around the table. This guy, like, here's the thing: we got Stunning and Brave on the left, and then we got,
Yes.
I don't know, William Henceforth in the back on the left.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why is everybody listening to the guy that's still in junior high school?
His balls dropped Tuesday and
Dude,
only a quarter of the way.
I'll tell you this much: he may have hit puberty, but he has not hit financial puberty. I'll tell you that.
Guys, and if you want to hit financial puberty, smash the like button. Hope you guys are going to be having a good one tonight. Today. And also, guys, check over my legalmindset.locals.com, hanging out there with the most based of the based. So check that on legalmindset.locals.com. All right, let's continue with this.
But I want to ask you about ESPN.
And I love how they immediately put it in big letters here. I know I'm blocking it halfway, but like Disney could resume paying attention. Yeah, and rainbows can, and unicorn farts, could happen. But hey,
Salma Hayek might call me.
Yeah, might. Yeah, it's possible.
At one point.
This video has been a clip of a previous live stream, and it's clipped so you can get the information in a shorter, compact package, the information you need. If you want the full video, the whole context, the whole thing, you can check out the full stream. That is in the link below. Check that out, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.